Imagine you're lost in the desert, the sun blazing down on you, and the only sounds are the whispers of the wind and the distant cries of unseen creatures. This is a place where survival is a daily battle, and sometimes the horrors that lurk in the shadows are far worse than the scorching heat. Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into 3 terrifying true desert horror stories that will make you think twice before heading into the wilderness. Stay tuned if you dare. Our first story takes us deep into the heart of the Mojave Desert, where a group of friends set out for a weekend camping trip. They thought they were prepared for anything, but they weren't ready for what they would encounter. What would you do if you found yourself in a life or death situation? Have you ever faced a moment where the line between reality and nightmare blurred? Let us know in the comments below. Now let's dive into our first chilling tale. The Mojave Nightmare. Meet a group of adventurous friends, Jake, Sarah, and Tom. They were excited to escape the city and spend a weekend under the stars. But as night fell, they began to hear strange sounds, whispers carried by the wind, echoing through the canyons. At first, they brushed it off as their imagination. But then, things took a sinister turn. They noticed footprints in the sand leading away from their campsite, footprints that didn't belong to any of them. Freaked out, they decided to investigate, but as they followed the trail, they realized they were not alone. Shadows flickered in the darkness, and the whispers grew louder, more insistent. Panic set in as they realized someone or something was watching them. The night turned into a desperate fight for survival as they raced to find their way back to safety. But did they make it out alive? Or did they become just another story lost to the desert? Stay tuned, because our next story is even more harrowing.
The Lone Survivor. Our second story is about a man named Mark, who decided to take a solo hiking trip through Death Valley. He was an experienced outdoorsman, confident in his skills, but one wrong turn led him deeper into the unforgiving terrain. With water running low and the sun setting, Mark realized he was lost. As night fell, he set up camp, hoping to find his way back in the morning. But the desert at night is not as peaceful as it seems. Mark began to hear unsettling sounds, scratches, low growls, and the unmistakable sound of something circling his camp. He tried to convince himself it was just his imagination, but deep down, he knew he was in danger. What was out there, and how would he survive the night? As the hours dragged on, Mark's mind began to unravel, and he realized that the true horror of the desert wasn't just the threat of the wild. It was the isolation and fear that could drive a man to madness. Could he outlast the night? Or would he become another lost soul in the vast expanse of the desert?
The sandstorm. As the sun begins to set on the horizon, casting an eerie glow over the vast expanse of the desert, a palpable tension fills the air. The once tranquil atmosphere is disrupted by the sudden appearance of dark clouds, swirling and churning with an unsettling ferocity. These ominous formations, heavy with the promise of chaos, loom over the dunes like a harbinger of impending doom. The wind picks up, howling through the arid landscape, as if warning all who dare to tread upon its sandy surface. Tiny grains of sand, once peacefully settled, are now lifted into the air, dancing wildly in the gusts that sweep across the terrain. The desert, known for its harsh beauty, transforms into a scene of turmoil as nature unleashes its fury. In the distance, the horizon blurs, the line between earth and sky erased by the encroaching storm. The once vibrant hues of sunset are swallowed by a blanket of darkness, casting a shadow over the land. As the first tendrils of the sandstorm begin to roll in, the world becomes a cacophony of sound and movement, where visibility dwindles and the familiar becomes alien. This is no ordinary storm. It is a force of nature that commands respect and instills fear. As the tempest gains strength, it becomes a swirling mass of particles, a living entity that rages against the stillness of the desert. The air thickens with dust, and the once clear blue sky is rendered unrecognizable, enveloped by the swirling chaos of the sandstorm. In this moment, the desert is both beautiful and terrifying,
a reminder of the raw power of the natural world as it prepares to unleash its full might upon the unsuspecting landscape below. As the storm intensifies, the sound of the howling wind crescendos, drowning out all other noise. It becomes a primal roar, echoing across the barren land, a warning to any wanderers caught in its grip. The air is charged with static electricity, crackling ominously as if the very atmosphere is alive with energy. This figure, a solitary traveler, fights against the tempest, determination etched into their features. They know the dangers of the desert all too well, having braved its perils before. But the ferocity of this storm is unlike any they have encountered. Each step is a battle, the shifting sands threatening to swallow them whole. The landscape around them shifts, dunes rising and falling like waves in a tumultuous sea. The traveler recalls tales of those who had been lost to such storms, swallowed by the sands, their cries silenced by the wind. But retreat is not an option. They are on a quest, one that drives them forward even as the storm rages. In that instant, the traveler sees a glimmer of hope, a dark outline against the swirling chaos. It could be a cave, a rocky outcrop, or perhaps an abandoned structure. With renewed resolve, they press on, fighting against the elemental fury that seeks to deter them. Yet, as they draw nearer, the storm's intensity escalates. Sand stings their skin, and the air grows thick and choking. Each breath is a struggle, but the traveler pushes through, driven by an instinctive need for survival. They duck inside, finding momentary refuge from the storm's wrath. The walls are rough and weathered, remnants of a time long past. Inside, the air is still, heavy with the scent of dust and decay. As the storm rages outside, the traveler takes a moment to assess.
Thanks for joining us on this terrifying journey through the desert. Each of these stories serves as a reminder of how quickly things can turn from adventure to horror. If you enjoyed these chilling tales, don't forget to hit that like button and share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever had a frightening experience in the wild? We'd love to hear about it. And remember to subscribe to our channel for more spine-tingling stories and hit the notification bell so you never miss a chilling update. Also, check out our newsletter for exclusive content and behind-the-scenes stories. Until next time, stay safe out there. And remember, the desert may be beautiful, but it holds secrets that are best left undisturbed.